Hello, everyone.
Are we on? We're here?
Yeah, we're here. We're recording.
Oh, holy fuck me. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Even More Beer. No, that's not it. Big Head
Beer Sturds.
Big bastards. Big Head Bastards.
Someday.
Oh boy, it's been an adventure. Apparently, Twitch doesn't like me telling people that it's okay to punch Nazis. So, we're reshooting an episode that was supposed to be 10. It was a 3-hour thing that some people got to watch. We had 10 beers from, I think, 4 different breweries.
3 different states, yeah.
Yeah, for a road trip, and that went really well. And Twitch deleted that video and all of our other stuff. I guess we didn't have a backup set for that, which kind of blows goats, but that's lesson learned.
Yeah.
So now we are going to have some of those beers that were left. Of the 10, there were 5 remaining. So we picked up one random beer, and we were going to try and see if we can remember which beers came from where and pick out the one that's not from elsewhere.
Did you get them all?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will be right back. I'm going to go grab those.
Aha!
Yeah.
Our lovely producer Lala has very graciously poured beers for us so that we have our stuff. She worked a really long day today, and she is graciously taking time away from her addiction. Her fun time with maybe not addiction, but you know, it's an addiction. It's okay. It's a good one. It's better than crack.
Costs less.
Yes, definitely costs less. Also, special thing, we may very well be sponsored by this company, Liquid Death. Liquid Death! Canned mountain water to murder your thirst. So, these guys, it's actually really, really good water. This frosty can of pristine Austrian mountain water won't just refresh your body, it will murder your thirst. It's true. Now, Cass is going to be dragging out the beers, I guess, here in a moment, and while he is doing that, I will see if I can get some of the glare to go away so I can actually read their thingy. Our proprietary thirst-murdering process begins with liquid death forming a rope of veins that will wrap around your thirst head and strangle it. Once liquid death reaches your thirst brain, all of your thirst memories will be replaced with repeating loops of its own head imploding, which is exactly what happens next, causing your thirst head to implode and its brain comes out of its ears. Once your thirst has been murdered, the soul of your thirst will begin to escape and float towards the ceiling. At this point, drink a second sip of liquid death to rip its soul back down and force it to begin gluing its own body parts back together so that it can crawl back inside you and eventually grow into a fully formed thirst. Once again, death to plastic. These guys are all about cans. Plastic is bad. I agree. Super good stuff. But the smattering of sobriety that you will see in this show tonight is brought to you entirely by Liquid Death, which I just like saying that way. Oh yeah.
Alright, we got everything.
Alright, we're getting a really late start on this. Anybody that is watching, thank you for actually, catch us when we're on. I know it's kind of...
We're not live, we're just recording locally.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. We'll be setting up the live stream stuff on YouTube from now on. We just had to wait 24 hours for stuff to get activated and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Before we get started, the 4 breweries that we had beers from were Yingling, and we had their lager and their porter. There's North Idaho Mountain Brew. Shout out to Mark Burmeister there, who don't know, maybe manager, maybe bartender, I don't know. And then there's Cassie at G5 Brewing. Also, shout out to her. I guess she helped pick out some stuff that we would be drinking. Actually, we already drank, but now it's all gone.
Everything is breaking.
Those were... Is it broken?
Unknown.
Super cool.
There we go. Our laptop likes to occasionally misbehave because everything else today has been.
Yeah, this is...
This will be the special borked episode.
Yeah, oh man, there's going to be
episode.
so many fucking edits in this thing. Yeah. To whoever is editing this, I'm sorry. So we had 4 beers from G5 Brewing. They had and they're pretty damn good beers. There was a red ale, a German stout, and a couple of imperial stouts. One of which was, I believe, barrel aged, and it were quite tasty. Granite City was the other brewery that we had. That we got to experience some beers from. And today we are going to be having 2 Granite City beers, 2 North Idaho Mountain Brew beers, and 1 from Yingling, and one of these, I believe, is Arrogant Bastard. And we're just going to try and see if we can remember which ones came from where, because since we didn't think we were going to have to reshoot an episode, for some strange reason we didn't hang on to all of the stuff that we had right before the thing. So again, I guess maybe lesson learned.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, super duper fun stuff. It's just the most exciting thing. Yeah. Well,
we've been having fun with this one.
Yeah.
And if the if our video goes a little bit weird in a couple of minutes here, I will need to stand up again because that outlet that our laptop is plugged into is ungrounded, so it likes to occasionally just not send power.
Oh, that's super duper cool.
Yeah.
All right, right on. So this is
we call this the borked episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we thought we had stuff lined up to be able to go to a brewery this month, but because Washington decided that they were going to change their allowances for people in various public places, pretty much all the breweries immediately ran out of time to be able to hang out with us.
This is number
this
2.
month.
It's marked on the cup. Well, it smells familiar.
Yeah.
Tastes familiar, too.
I think that might be the Arrogant Bastard. But we'll see.
Very mild.
I was saying words, and then you distracted me with beer, but that's okay.
I'm good. That's an okay way to be distracted.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to be distracted. Yes, we don't have a brewery this month. So we're going to be doing another episode. We're going to be filming another episode next week. Will not be at a brewery. We don't really exactly have that figured out yet. It may just be another 6-pack. We may just sit down with a dozen beers. We might go somewhere. We don't know yet. But it is entirely possible that in the next couple months we will wind up going to 2 breweries in a month just to kind of make up for the fact that we didn't get to do that. Thankfully, you guys haven't missed any brewery episodes from us. We got the Hidden Mother episode up just fine. All you missed was 10 beers of a road trip, and we did 1 standard episode that was just 6 beers that we hadn't had before. Numero 1?
Yes. Is it the Yingling?
No, I don't think so, because I think the Yingling was the porter.
Which are the darker ones in the big cups.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we had one of the lagers. I don't know. Well, I guess it's kind of a mystery at this point.
Surprise! Also, I was looking at getting us a set of metal cups because we're on the recycle train.
Yeah.
By the way, these are going into a recycling bin. They're getting rinsed out and put in recycling.
So irritated that we're using plastic right now, but this is kind of a last minute thing, just so we've got something to put up to let you guys
These
know.
are recycled plastic cups.
What's going on? Well, yeah.
Why they're the pasty color.
But yeah,
I don't even use water bottles.
It's been an adventure, and we'll go ahead and keep the episodes coming on down the line. But there's a reason why we haven't had anything up in a little bit. Twitch just kind of decided that they were going to delete all our videos because apparently us drinking and me saying that violence against fascism is acceptable was not acceptable.
And also, our Patreon had a little bit of issues. It is perfectly fine now. Everything was taken care of in a very fast manner, actually. I will give Patreon credit for that one. So, yeah.
But yeah, they lost all of the information for all of the people that had stuff.
Yeah, to protect the information of the people on the site, they took it down when they noticed that they had a minor info. You can read about it on Patreon.
Okay, so I think this one's from Granite City.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's
Number
their lager.
3.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's that Granite City lager. Because as I recall, we worked our way east to west, unbeknownst to us.
It actually ended up being kind of funny. Because that's the direction she went to get them.
Yeah. Ah, joy, rapture.
Oh,
It's
so good.
It's
Oh,
been
here, I'm sorry. I have to scoot away from you a little bit to balance out on the cam. Oh, I can actually have... I don't need to be sitting right next to you, and this is a really comfortable couch.
This actually is pretty damn comfy.
I've slept on this couch a couple times.
I would assume so. I mean, it's like it's here. It's fairly comfy.
I bought it, and sometimes I have late nights of editing.
The seam on this thing, I think I would probably want to have some sort of a blanket just to smooth that out a little bit.
I usually put that big thick sleeping bag on it. A nice one. I just put that on here, and like some nights when I'm up late editing or doing our legal paperwork that we've had to do for going into breweries from now on, because we have paperwork that says, please, for the love of God, overserve us. We're responsible for ourselves.
I love this. I love that we're going to be walking into breweries and handing them a piece of paperwork that says no, over service is not a thing.
Because
no, we're signing
waivers. Yeah.
We're signing waivers to say no, please get us drunk. And it's good. Yeah, no, it's kind of awesome. It'll be nice to have inordinately large amounts of beer at a variety of breweries.
We have to make sure we have safe rides home anyway. So
yeah. Well, I guess we should probably move on down the line and try some of these beers. That's definitely from Granite City. That's one of their lagers.
Sorry, I got the burps.
It's unforgivable, you heathen. Okay. That's that fucking bread beer.
Yeah.
From the North Idaho, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This beer tastes like Subway Italian cheese bread.
Yep.
I'm not really sure of another good way to describe it, but that's the conclusion that we came to.
It tastes like the smell of.
Yeah, that smell of like that just like a little tiny bit of tang from the cheese and like the herbs and that
These are number 6. So
that yeasty kind of thing you get going on. Yeah, it tastes like that smells, which is not unpleasant.
okay, that's number 5.
I do miss eating Subway, but I don't miss it enough to eat it ever again.
Oh, we haven't toasted a single time. Hang on.
Ah,
Truly, we are the heathens.
truly, we should have started drinking earlier. That's the Yingling.
Mm-hmm. That's the low one. So that means that's the high one.
Woo!
Finish
Just
it
like
on
me. So alright, so...
You know, my favorite
Everything.
part about YouTube is that as long as I put in the description that we're both over 21 and consenting adults, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, we're both over 21. We're consenting adults. We're on private property.
Yep, actually, we're in reserved private property and we're indoors with the windows closed, so... And I can prove it. Do you hear any background noise? No.
I do, but that's
It's
because
from
I'm here.
a different room.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. Shh.
It's not like a random gunshot from the kitchen or anything.
Shut up. See, now I gotta tell the story or people are getting really confused.
Well, you could just let them be confused as to why your brand new Yeti cooler has a hole in it.
Don't let other people pack your shit. Because they might put a bullet in a box underneath that little bottom flap. And then that box ends up getting set next to the oven exhaust.
And then the oven gets really hot and it blows out a lot of hot air. And for some reason, that little tiny bullet goes, "Ee!"
And puts a hole in my Yeti cooler.
Thankfully, he was not injured.
Nope, I wasn't even in the room. Scared the shit out of the guinea pigs and Lyra screamed. But other than that, we're good.
Apparently, the police officer was very nice today.
I have very caring neighbors.
So that's the Yingling. That's from Granite City. That's from North Idaho. I don't know about that one.
Number 6. Oh.
That's super bitter. Wow. Yeah. Oh boy. This is an excellent palate cleanser, actually.
It tastes like water.
It's very watery tasting water, which is probably the best description that I can give it. Like, it's good fucking water.
Like how water's taste is dependent on its temperature. Although I've actually had a warm liquid death and it still tasted good. Like
I generally prefer room temperature water. But then again, I go for most things like room temperature because that's just me.
I like a cold or a little bit above room temp. Like body temp.
Yeah, I don't know. Some beers, I think, well, some beers are definitely better a little bit warmer, like when they're closer to room temperature. Some beers are definitely better when they're colder.
Mm.
Like most Pilsners and Kolsch's, and like super duper light beers, usually way better when they're cold. Darker beers, they can get warmer, still be pretty good. Oh, especially mulled ale. Dear God, I'm waiting for December. Yes, it is March, and I'm already waiting for December. And the reason why I'm waiting for December, and I'm already looking forward to it, is because Bellwether all December does mulled ale, and it is delightful. Every time it's just a little bit different, and every time it's quite a bit delicious.
That is the best way to put it, honestly. It's just like... yeah. I cannot wait for the spooky season because you can do a Halloween themed episode.
Dude, I'm just really hoping that we actually fucking have a Halloween this year. Although, I don't know. Maybe if people get enough vaccinations, maybe if people...
They were saying if enough people get vaccinated, we can even celebrate like a normal 4th of July. Still gotta wear a mask at the grocery store, but you should be able to like actually have people over and like have a barbecue. And I am 100% doing that, even if there's only 2 people that come to my barbecue.
That'd probably be me.
And my roommate. Yep. I'll have you and Raph.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like he has to go far to go to.
Good 20 feet. You gotta get out the back door.
Yeah, I suppose there is that. Okay. That's definitely North Idaho. That's definitely Granite City. That's got to be the ending.
I will go grab cans. Because you marked the cans.
And I just don't know. I don't know. I'm lost on where those came from. But I'm absolutely certain that number 3 is a lager from Granite City. Which was not bad. I do dig lagers. I like that one. It's not my favoritist, but it's good. Yingling makes a good porter. They also make a good lager, as far as I was concerned. It was the first time that I got to try Yingling, and it was pretty good. I'm glad to get to try the porter again. It's nice. It's good stuff. So, all of you out there in YouTube land, please do try and keep up with, like, if you have an interest, join on the Patreon. We should, like we were saying earlier, we should be doing live streaming through YouTube after this. For those of you who have Patreon, we'll be setting up a channel for that.
So, this is one.
Oh, there's still even beer in these. Right on.
Yeah.
Number 1 was... Oh, this one that I wasn't sure. That's from North Idaho. Okay.
This is number 2, Granite City. Number 3 is the other Granite City.
Wait.
Which would be that one.
No, we're going to the other 3.
So that's the Arrogant Bastard, and that's the Yingling Porter. Yeah, that... The one where we're like, oh my god, that's hoppy as fuck. It's like the only IPA in any of this, which is why after all of this, it was kind of like, wow, that's better. But it's good.
This one's number 4. It's the other North Idaho.
Yep.
This one's number 5, which is the Yingling Porter.
Barrel Aged Sunset Red. That's why it's got that tang on it.
Number 5 was the Yingling.
And that's this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the Arrogant Bastard. Yeah.
And then, yeah, number 6 is the Arrogant Bastard.
Cool. I love these, like, I'm so glad that these growlers are a thing, and, like...
The can growlers.
Yes.
I like the Arrogant Bastard because it's just too fitting.
It's a good hoppy ale. Stone makes good beer. Just period. Stone just fucking makes good beer.
Yeah.
I don't know which of these I think is my favorite. Actually, it's probably going to be either the porter or the bread beer. What is the fucking bread beer? Alright, it's the Barrel Aged Sunset Red. Yeah, because this would be number 1. Yeah, it's got like almost a sour kind of thing going on to it, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I'm just, today is...
You're just fucking wiped and tired.
Between, like, yesterday and today, it's...
I can understand that.
Yeah, I have this horrible thing where, I can, like, hold off a migraine for an entire day if I really needed to do stuff. By basically microdosing a little bit of weed and a little bit of alcohol in like, my morning coffee. And then just kind of, like, keeping a general pace throughout the day. And, that's what I was doing all day yesterday. So I woke up and that headache was like, hey, remember me, bitch? I gotta come around.
So our beer number 1 is Benny from Granite City Brewing, which we have this little happy hour beer list, so at least we'll have some idea. That is a German Bock. Okay, and the other one I think is the Northern, which is a American lager. Looks like they also have some other stuff. Oatmeal Stout, Irish Red, Bourbon Brown Ale, Vanilla Porter, Hazy NEI, probably New England IPA, and a Pale Ale. Probably all decent beers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we very much appreciate Cassie from, like, we'd like to give another shout out to Cassie from G5, Mike from Granite City Brewing, and Mark at North Idaho Mountain Brew. Like, thanks all of you for making contributions to our beers, and thanks for like, maybe at some point we'll be able to actually go to some of your stuff. The North Idaho thing is probably fairly likely because that's not too far. I think it's over just in Wallace, which isn't too much of a trip from here. So maybe that's a thing that we'll actually get to do. Check out. I somehow doubt that we will ever make it to G5, but that's only because it's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit far for us to drive at the moment. Maybe if those Patreon funds pick up, we could do something. We've got, we should have, I think, $100 level coming to Patreon pretty soon here. We're just trying to figure out what the hell we should give people for $100 towards us drinking beer and being shitheads on camera. I mean,
we're going to unlock the out-of-state adventure. It's a whole Patreon milestone.
Yeah, no, the out-of-state adventure will be
Good thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, technically, our next, when we do a Belgian episode, it's probably going to be an out-of-state adventure because we're going to go to Selkirk. But that's, I mean, yeah, it's an out-of-state
like
adventure.
out-of-state, like going to Northern California or something.
Yeah, like going to Oregon or going deeper into Idaho or
driving up to
Montana
Portland or driving down to like Portland and stuff like that.
I don't know if they're still around. I think it's just called Level Brewing. Just outside of Portland, Breakside maybe? I don't remember. Breakside, Burnside, somewhere around in there. Anyway, all video game themed brewery, all video game themed beer, very cool shit, super cool merch. I don't know if they're still around. I hope they are. If you are, right on. Maybe eventually we'll get to check you guys out. Yeah.
That's a good talk to the D20 people.
Mm.
Got their info.
Natural 20 Brewing, we just went down and talked to them a little bit, mostly because I was like, fuck this, I want a mug club there. So, because Big Daddy Government gave me a stimulus check, I decided to get another fucking mug club. Yeah. Super fun. Did you have a favorite, a preference out of these things? Because we still have leftover bits of beer. So,
I think I'm settling kind of on the lighter ones.
Okay.
Well, it's also because I'm like recovering from this morning. Like, I don't want something heavy.
Yeah, that's fairly understandable. Yeah. Of course, we were also drinking fairly heavily last night just because, fuck it.
St. Patty's Day. Fuck it.
It was Patty's Day. We went to Bellwether. We went to Natural 20. And then we came back here to his place and had 4 more different kinds of beer and corned beef and cabbage at his housemate / neighbor.
It's a duplex. So
yeah,
it's hard to...
Yeah. Anyway, I had some corned beef and hash that turned out pretty damn good. Well, if you want the light ones, then I will give you the light ones. And I can take the dark ones.
Alright.
Although we're both going to have to work on that arrogant bastard some more. Because that's a pretty beefy thing.
Yeah, that's fine. We got literally like all evening. And
yeah, we have plenty of time to be able to get through this. I think out of these, my favorites are the number 1 and number 3. Like that. The northern, no, not the northern. The Benny? No, what the fuck is this?
you know, we've been
Loft Honey. There we go. We probably should have said what that was. The North Idaho brews are Loft Honey, which was pretty damn tasty, I think. The Barrel Aged Sunset Red, which is the one that tastes like bread. Yingling Porter. And Arrogant Bastard from Stone, which is, I believe, in Escondido, California. I know they're in California. They're probably another one of those breweries that has even more breweries than the original one now, because like some of them open up other ones. One of these days, we will have to take a trip to Mount Hood and stop at the breweries there. That's going to be a trip, because that's like Freem and Full Sail and...
That's get a hotel in town.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be like we'd have to we would have to have money to spend a week in Mount Hood, because there's no way in fuck we're gonna go to all of those breweries in one day, because we'll die from all of them. Yeah, like
adventure.
I think about the Full Sail Brew Pub and their foods. It's so good. Oh my god. The food in Hood River, Oregon. So amazing. Good breweries, good beer, good food, good people. It's good stuff.
I still, Brain was gonna go somewhere and just, like, stall the hell out.
Brain go, go!
Oh, I was gonna say, we got really good at doing this. Like, have you looked at the little red timer down there at the bottom of the screen?
No, I don't know what's, Oh, hey, huh? What do you know? Half an hour in. Well, our timer says half an hour in, but I guarantee we're not quite half an hour into the YouTube video, because we've had to cut some shit out. We don't know what the fuck's going on. You probably know us. You probably know that we rarely know what the fuck is going on. So, you know. I mean, we're hacks, we're frauds, we're semi-professional, if that. Semi-professional at best. Probably. And you know our motto, we're not happy till you're not happy. We're just here to sow hate and discontent. Absolutely. Yep, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
And to drink lots of really good beer. That is what we are here for. I think we're about even on that.
Alright.
These are tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have a fairly large amount of beer to actually go through, because after this last day... Actually, today really hasn't been all that bad for me. I spent a good chunk of today just laying out in my backyard in the sun, because I was like, wait, it's warm. I'm going to start working on my fucking tan.
Yeah, you're basically like a salamander, man. You just, like, find a place and you're like, cool.
Like, oh, look, sunlight. Yeah, no, oh my god, I'm so looking forward to river trips this summer. Actually, I believe I am supposed to go to, yes, I'm floating down the river tomorrow. One of these days, we may do a special river float episode, and that would probably be really shitty footage, because it would be from a very not new GoPro. But I got a GoPro and it's waterproof, so that's cool. Actually, it's my dad's GoPro, but it works. It's got a waterproof case. It's a thing that could be done.
We'll figure it out. God, I want to float down the river so very bad.
Do what?
I want to float down the river now.
Not too much longer, and I'm sure we can probably squeeze you onto a boat. Like, prior to the plane, we used to float the river with, like, lots of people. We would take 2 boats and lash them together and go float down the Spokane River and sing pirate songs and drink with half-naked ladies, and it was wonderful. And then the plague happened. This last year, we didn't get to do the 2 boats thing because that would be too many people. Maybe this year, if we get enough people that are, like, vaccinated, we will get a group of people together. Because if you're vaccinated and the other people you're around are vaccinated,
nobody's going to get sick.
It's pretty fucking
vaccinated
safe.
within 2 weeks, so...
Like, you don't really have to worry about it too much. I'm not sure when I'm going to get vaccinated, but it is going to happen, and it is going to happen soon, because I'm worried about this thing.
There's a minimum 2-week wait for the double. It's 2 weeks, then you get the shot, then you wait another 2 weeks and get the second shot.
Yeah, and
I'm
then,
getting the Johnson & Johnson shot. I have to drive
the
over to
one
Idaho.
shot?
Yeah, because I'm immunosuppressed. So they're just giving me the one shot and being done with it. It means I gotta drive over to Idaho, but it's in Post Falls, so it's like whatever.
It's kind of nice being this close to the border, and it's one of the reasons why I think borders are fucking inane.
It's cool and it's not cool because it means that every time I drive into Idaho, I have to make sure that all of my like stuff I keep in my car, like my sharpened tools or like my handgun, has to go into like a case in my trunk. So I have to like one time I forgot and I had to like pull over on the side of the freeway and throw all that shit in because I was coming up to a checkpoint. So they could see me too. I was like less than 2 blocks away and I just like pulled over to the side of the road and they watched me just like pull out like a rifle from my back seat, like my handgun in its holster, and just jam that shit under a panel in my trunk.
Shit.
All of my weed, put it in there, and, like, and they were like, "So, you got a storage panel in the back there?" I was like, "Yep." They're like, "Everything in there?" "Yep." "All right, cool. Go ahead." They were like, "It's in there. We can't search it now." So you're doing what you have to because you're a Washington State resident. My license for my guns are in Washington State. As long as I stow them,
then it's not
okay.
a problem.
Yeah.
You went 20 feet in that direction. All of the laws have changed.
Yep.
I don't understand borders. Anarchy makes more sense to me. Anarchy is not chaos. Anarchy is order, and it's cool. You just can't trust people with their own freedom. Then how are we supposed to trust anybody to rule?
I had one of my great aunts on my father's side call me a Satanist today. Because she was on a news outlet and she was like, "I'm not going to ever get the vaccine because God gave me free will and he didn't make the vaccine, so I'm not going to put it in my body." And I was like, "All right, no, I'm not letting that one fly because you're on like 6 different medications, lady." I was like, "God did not give you free will. According to your own religion, he had a huge problem with it. He threw one of his angels out because he managed to convince the human, hey, eat this apple that makes it so you can make your own decisions."
See, the way, I just don't get the whole, like...
God didn't make it, so I'm not putting it in my body.
No, I don't get that. Because, like, God didn't make it, so I'm not putting it in my body. But you eat fucking margarine, right?
Have you ever had a lemon?
Like, yeah, dude, oh my god, it took a long time to fucking cross an orange and a citron to be able to get a lemon.
Or, most breeds of apples, mushrooms, greenery,
so
and
much food.
like,
oh my god.
how corn and onions look now.
But no, I don't get the whole, like... Okay, so... Big man God. Big man God, go... I make all things. Alright? Cool. I'm gonna make angels. I'm gonna make special beings that are gonna do my bidding, and only my bidding. They have no free will. I'm gonna make humans. Humans get free will. The things that don't have free will, and do only what I told them to do, one of them is getting uppity. And he's saying he should have free will too. So because I have control and power over all of the everythings and nothing happens really unless I fucking want it to, I'm going to make sure that that guy is going to not be happy. Like, it's if the angels don't have free will and they don't get to make decisions for themselves, how are any of them going to rebel? If you can't make a choice for yourself, you can't rebel.
Well, like, the whole point was that he figured out how to rebel and he taught the humans how to do it.
Well, yeah, but...
Like, eat this apple.
Then God designed that into his own creation. Like, he made...
Okay, the whole point of, like...
It's a setup!
Human-created gods is to make...
It's all based off of fucking... It's all based off of... Like, Christianity is Judaism, is the Jewish religion, Mark II. And Islam is the Jewish religion, like, part 3. Because it's like, okay, you've got... Judaism with Abraham and all that happy horse shit.
And also Muhammad. And a little bit of Jesus.
Well, no, they
have a lot of prophets.
There's the beginning, there's like Judaism, and then Christianity evolved from that. Jesus Christ was supposedly a Jew, if he did exist. Alright, he was a rabbi. Alright, cool. And I don't mean, like, Also, it's really fucking frustrating that you can't talk about the Jewish religion, and like it's very it's not that you can't talk about it. It's very difficult to differentiate between speaking about the Jewish religion and the Jews as a race. And it's like I don't have a problem with Jewish people. I don't have a problem with the race. I have a problem with religion. Period. It's not any particular religion that I have a problem with, apart from all of them, except for Pastafarian. You guys are kind of cool.
Oh, Jedi's too.
Yeah, Jedi's alright. I appreciate a lot of stuff about Buddhism.
Have you read the Book of the Bros?
No, I appreciate a lot of stuff about Buddhism, but it's
not technically.
It's another thing that basically it's something that comes down to you saying, don't fucking be a dick to people.
I'm technically a Taoist, and it's more of a philosophy than an actual religion.
Every time you say Taoist, I'm like, it's Tao. There's just a thing in my head that does that.
Chinese, Japanese, or Taiwanese.
How about Taiwan on? Woo! Going to hell for that one. But yeah, no, like there's the whole the Jewish religion, and then there's Christianity, which evolved out of that, and then there's Islam, which evolved out of that. It came around in around 600 AD when they went, oh, we've got another prophet of the gods, and that's where Muhammad came about. Like, it's Abraham, Jesus, Muhammad. All right, you get the original, you get the sequel, you get the other sequel. Well, it's all based off of previous stuff from Mesopotamia with like Gilgamesh and Enkidu, and like it all leads back to something prior, and then it just goes back to the animus, and it's like
people just need a way to explain things, because everyone has a weird discontentment with the idea that they can't exist forever. But one of my favorite... Okay, I need to on my phone right now, but there is something that I will put in the description somewhere. It is a philosophical... over there. It is a philosophical lecture by a famous physicist. I can't remember his name, but he did a lot of lectures that are in like everything. And he did one on why it is perfectly okay and should not be considered wrong in society to be sick or dying or dead. Like, dying and being sick are a perfectly natural part of life. And if you don't die, new things can't exist. Because if everyone was immortal, we'd get overcrowded wicked fucking fast.
And you get bored after fuck.
And
fuck, man, I'm almost 40 and I'm bored with life. Jesus, fuck.
Started doing a show about drinking just to entertain himself.
Fucking right.
But one of the things he said was like, if you start to live forever, then the nicks and patterns of the floor lose their magic, and so does everything else. Because if you're alive long enough, you'll figure out how everything works, and then there's no mystery to anything. It's just a blasé understanding.
There's so much knowledge out there that you could always learn something, but
yeah, but imagine
being
immortal.
After a while, there's just so much tedium.
Yeah, like you're immortal, you don't need to eat, drink, or do anything, but also like there's no challenge to anything anymore.
Oh yeah,
you can always put it off till tomorrow if you're immortal.
Truth,
literally forever. That sounds like literally hell.
Ultimate procrastinator.
I'm immortal. I haven't done it in 6,000 years.
I don't know. I think that in part people I think that people tend to go towards a variety of religions because one, there's structure in it, and we love structure. We love patterns.
For some fucking reason.
Humans are super fucking good at pattern recognition. We have amazing pattern recognition skills, except for when we have apophenia. I think that's what it is, when your pattern recognition goes to shit, and you start thinking that you see patterns where you don't see patterns, and it's like a standard thing that we do, and it's why people buy into conspiracy theories and things like that. But I think really a lot of people tend to go towards a lot of religion because it lends accountability to the universe. And we want accountability we as a species, we want reasons for shit. We're always going, why? Every fucking 4-year-old on the planet. Like, why? Well, we as humans still do that as a species. And if we can go, well, why is this like this? Oh, because big powerful thing said blah. Big powerful thing did the thing. Okay.
It's the best explanation they had at some points in history.
Well, shit, dude. They were like, it's not like we had the greatest science. Yeah, mathematics was a hell of a fucking thing to figure out pretty easy, but math isn't all that fucking hard to figure out. You can do a whole bunch of shit with just a handful of rocks. And some patience. And boredom.
And you got a bucket of sand, you got infinite possibilities. You do geometry with sand.
Count all of these. Dude, geometry with sand. That just made me think of how they used to calculate pi, and like when Newton fucking invented physics or invented calculus, and like basically went, oh, I can find out how big pi is, like no fucking problem, because he's like, oh, it's got an upper bound and it's got a lower bound. Like, Kath, Newton. Fucking dude, calculus made over a weekend, basically on, or like made kind of over spring break on a bet / dare / fuck this, it's stupid kind of thing.
And a shitload of wine.
Yeah. In vino veritas.
I still like one of my favorite tweets from the God Twitter, which is a joke account for anybody wondering. It's hilarious. Is the it has been less than 6 hours and Stephen Hawking has already proved to my face that I don't exist. And I was like, Stephen Hawking would laugh at that.
So, not long ago, it was the anniversary of the death of Stephen Hawking.
Mm-hmm.
And if I recall, the same day, or around the same time that Stephen Hawking died, a black hole imploded. Or like some big galactic, some big kind of cosmic thing happened. Same day that Hawking died. There was some, like a black hole shit itself or something. Like there was something that, like, on the same day that Hawking died, we were like, whoa, big science thing. Like, there's a fucking send-off.
The black hole salute.
Yeah, right? Nice job, dude. Sorry we stuck you in a wheelchair. Also, you could have been slightly less of a prick. But hey.
It's one of those things like, rolled the stats bad.
I just think it's funny that he would, like, roll over people's feet. Like, apparently he was a crotchety old fuck.
And he had a really
Which I really don't like, dude. I don't blame him. If I was stuck in a fucking decaying body that was just like slowly giving up more of its abilities and powers, and it was just like being brain work just fine, body no go good. Like, no, that I would fucking be grumpy as hell too. Like, yeah, all of the think meat works great, but everything outside of the think meat, no worky? No.
Your entire movement is based off of a joystick.
And it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's just like, fuck. Yeah, no, I'd be a crappy bitch too. I don't fucking blame him.
Well, the part too that they investigated, like, after he died, they did, obviously they did an autopsy, and they were like, he has permanent, like, scar tissue on the part of his neural cortex that processes pain. Because basically that means that his entire life was spent in so much agony that his body just covered it in scar tissue and basically, like, cut it off. Because it was like, we can't function right now.
Pain.
Yeah. People with chronic illness end up with that a lot, actually. A lot of us, I have it in one part. They develop scar tissue over the nerve endings to keep it from preventing you from surviving, basically. Because you don't want to just be curled up in a ball screaming all the time.
Well, it's not just you don't want to be curled up in a ball screaming all the time. With that kind of fucking, like, your body is not going to want to keep up with, like, producing the endorphins for that kind of level of pain. Like, yeah. It has to adjust.
Well, it also it causes a problem, especially for people like me, where it's like, Oh, I accidentally stabbed myself while using these scissors. Huh. And that's the extent of it. Like,
some of you might have noticed that my beard is a little bit better trimmed than it normally is. Now, the reason I say this because I had my buddy trim up who is a barber, trimmed up my beard yesterday. And it was kind of funny. I was like, do whatever you want. He's like, I'm going to make you look a little bit more like Abe Lincoln. But he apparently went fishing this last weekend and managed to get a fucking hook in his.
Oh.
So it's just, yeah, that, like, you talking about that immediately made me think of, oh yeah, buddy getting a fishing hook in his hand. Fucking.
No, that was when I was taking like I was helping a buddy of mine hook up some electrical stuff in his house. His wiring was terrible. Like, no groundings. Everything was a giant spider web of wires.
So many fucking rat nests of
so
wire.
Many dead ends and everything. Well, at one point I was
You know who you are. I have helped you with your audio and video shit, and I've had to reroute all your stuff and, like, do cable ties and all the things to make it nice and pretty, because you...
Zip ties are your friend. But yeah, no. I was like, alright, your switch is back there, and the only way I'm going to reach through this is having to go through a bunch of dead-end wires that I don't know if they're charged or not, and I don't have time to check 60-some-odd dangling wires. Some of them are arcing off of each other. None of these are voltage high enough that would kill me. I'm pretty sure the combined voltage wouldn't even do it. So, fuck this. So I literally took off my gloves so I could feel for the switch, rolled my sleeve up, and this just jammed my hand in to, like, root around, and he could see, like, the muscles in my bicep just, like, spazzing the fuck out. And he's like, doesn't that hurt? And I was like, no. Feels kind of funny. Well, actually, I used my left hand, so I had to take my rings off, too, so I wasn't, like, conducting electricity. But I have calcium buildup in my shoulder, and I was told we can either do this experimental surgery that will remove most of it, maybe give you back your mobility, or might just make your arm completely fucking useless. Or we hook up 8 neurodes, implant them into the sides of your shoulder, and then electrocute it until you can't feel it no more.
You want to hand me that bastard?
I was gonna, like, hop on you, like, here you go. So yeah, no, if I just, like, I can jam my left arm into all sorts of places without having to worry about it. Just like, whee!
I get this kind of close-ish.
Just keep adding more.
This is very scientific. I am...
As scientific as a middle school chemistry lab.
Yeah, well, good enough. Hey, anybody that has access to, you know, a chemistry lab, if you want to really have some fun, take, I think, 1 part potassium nitrate and 4 parts just regular sugar. And just kind of spark it up. I mean, you don't need a whole lot to make enough smoke to cover an entire city block. It's a cool thing. It's a fun thing to convince your friends while you're in, like, if you happen to be in high school and you're watching this and you have a chem lab, you probably shouldn't do this yourself, but you should totally convince your other friends that are in a chem lab that they should mix potassium nitrate and sugar and light it on fire and see what happens.
He's joking, don't do that.
I mean, that would be a terrible thing to do, to fill your entire school's chem lab up with a thick white smoke. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You know what? I want to go spelunking in that abandoned miner town out west. That one of the caves you have to, like, have special equipment to go in because it has a sodium chloride sulfur buildup along the walls from all the mining and stuff. And basically, if you're sweating enough and you touch the wall, it'll blow your hand off because of the sheer amount of buildup when you go farther in. And it's like, it's spelunking because it's like corridors that are tight. So you have to wear like fully enclosed gloves, goggles, mask, suit.
Don't touch anything. Don't let any water get anywhere.
Yeah, they're like, if you have a water bottle, you're leaving that shit outside. Like, Yeah, because if you like accidentally spilled your water bottle in there, you're gonna blow yourself to
I
smithereens.
just love how there's like some places on this planet where it's just like, no, this is a death trap. If you go here, like, if you just go here by yourself and wander around, you're gonna fucking die. I kind of appreciate that we have like real life, almost dungeons, like
Natural dungeon. Hang on.
yeah. Well,
It's an environmental dungeon, dude. It's just all booby traps. And
yeah,
characters.
right. Life is a booby trap. Oh, that's not helpful.
Did you say life is a booby trap?
Yeah.
Life is a booby trap. I didn't ask to be here.
Yeah. I did not ask to be here.
Just because I was
But I am here. None of us asked to be in this room. None of us asked to hear this music, but all of us have to fucking dance.
Listen, Mom. I know you watch this show. And I know that it doesn't matter now.
And you have a cute little doggy.
Hi, Candy! But if you believe it, or if like reincarnation is the thing, remember next time, make him rap it before. I don't want to exist. I'm done after this.
Do you believe in reincarnation? Yeah, I want to come back as a leotard. Oh, thank you, Matthew Lillard. Fucking.
You know what I want to come back as? I want to come back as a koala. Because they're so smooth-brained. There's no fucks given. Case in point, koala in the rain. Thank you, Z Frank, for making awesome educational videos that are fucking hilarious.
Z Frank is fucking hilarious.
Case in point, koala in the rain.
And that's how the koala do. Oh my god, that guy's
Dude,
fucking
I want to be a
hilarious.
smooth-brained koala just peeing on people and giving them gonorrhea. Are you shitting me? That sounds amazing. They peed on the Jonas Brothers. That's...
As more people should do. I think... You know, I bet R. Kelly's a big fan of koalas.
Also, I love the one he did on like the frogfish. It's like, Dad, you look like a trash bag floating along the bottom of the ocean. Mom's gonna be so pissed. I bet she eats you. Frogfish are so fucking weird when they like get off balance from a current. And she's like,
Praying mantis relationships. You don't have to bite my head off. Well, actually.
Well, actually, I do. It gets me a randy, baby.
You know, I love how, like, I really do enjoy being out in nature. And maybe it's just a little bit of country boy in me. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm fucking human and nature is awesome. But, like, I like hearing the sounds of nature, like, bugs and birds and stuff and frogs and whatever. I just think it's funny that like all of those beautiful natural sounds
Or things asking to be fucked.
It's pretty much everything out there going, someone fuck me! Please! Oh, fuck me! Like, it's like...
I just imagine now like a flea doing like a sonata. It's just like, okay.
Like, dude, when you think about, like, a bird call is basically like, hey, baby, you ever had your asshole licked by a fat man in an overcoat? Just,
let me smash.
hey, babe, want to smash? Oh, like,
Unless you're a red velvet mite, in which case, either you are finding your opposition's jizz castle and jizzing all over it, or you're building your own jizz castle and jizzing on it. Have you heard of the red velvet mite? They're amazing, and I want an entire tank full of them. They're called the red velvet mite because they're actually a spider, and they got a fat butt that's covered in a velvety fur, and they're bright red.
okay.
And they're even around Washington, and so there'll be like swarms of them, and they'll build these intricate love huts out of like sticks and pieces of grass, but it's held together by them literally jizzing everywhere. And they make a big bubble in the middle for the female to lay on, and they leave a trail of silk and then they wait at the end for a female to find them.
Time for a little more crenellation.
Yeah. They wait at the end for the female to find them, then they do an intricate dance for the female, and then if the female likes it, goes back to the hut, hangs out, and chills on the bubble, and then they have the babies. But if an opposing male finds the silken trail like halfway or something, he'll follow it to where the little hut is. He'll knock everything down and jizz on everything to ruin it, so that another female might come along and sit on his bubble instead. Imagine coming home to your bedroom and your wife is just chilling out on your bed and the whole room is just smattered. Like, that's what these motherfuckers do. They burn your shit down and they jizz on it. It's like the most savage yet romantic shit I've ever heard. I built you this hut with my bodily fluids and love, and I did a dance for you.
I so totally do not see that as being romantic.
It's bug romantic. At least they aren't eating each other's faces.
I suppose there is that, but just like...
Also, it's really cool.
Welcome to my jizz house.
It's also,
You wanna fuck in my love hut?
It's also really cool to
Oh, you
watch
got a love
them
hut?
build it.
Yeah, fuck your love hut. You know what? Fuck your love hut so much.
It's
That's better than your love hut. What?
I'm like, oh my fucking god.
The Oatmeal did a comic on it. You guys should
Swear to
definitely check
God,
it
I
out.
saw this in high school.
I want an entire tank of them because
I jizzed all over it, so it's mine. Yeah, well, fuck you. I'm gonna jizz all over it some more, so it's mine even more.
It's mine now. That's the ultimate version of marking your property.
Jesus fucking Christ.
They're really cool looking too. And they get big. They're like the size of your thumb. So they're like make little castles that are like that high. And they're like
I'm just
Yeah.
the
visuals.
no, just the fucking thought of like I'm gonna make my house out of blasting loads.
Is there a more reliable way of doing it?
How
You're
big do
above-
I really want the kitchen to be?
Oh.
Fuck! Oh my god, dude.
How big do I want the kitchen to be? A 2-hour film or an hour?
The fuck. Oh, God.
You know the worst part too? They have a silk sack, and they have a spider penis. So they
as long as it's not a duck dick, dude. That's still just like
They're the most rapey species on like
yeah,
the fucking planet, besides
totally.
dolphins.
It's like yeah, and just like the whole. Man, I do not want to come back as a duck. Just because, like, the last...
I don't want to come back as a female duck.
I was just going to say, like, I don't want to come back as a duck. I don't want to come back
Well,
as...
female ducks, even some of the breeds have, like, spikes in some of the dead ends in their vaginas.
Well, that's just it. Like, I don't want to come back as a male duck. I don't want to come back as a female duck.
I don't want to be a duck.
I don't want to be a fucking duck. If reincarnation is a thing, and you wind up fucking coming back as a thing, it's not a thing that I believe in, but if I wind up coming back, I really don't want to be a goddamn duck. One way or the other. Okay.
You're dumb, beautiful, and delicious, and you have weird sex organs. Like, that's a terrible thing to be.
Like, okay, just the whole thought of firing off your dick. Like...
As a projectile, like, midair.
Just like, here's how we fuck. Ugh! I hope I get this right, because I got the one shot for now.
All I hear in my head is, lead the target!
Stay on target. Stay on target. Fuck.
You gotta, like, there's also couples of them that are, like, consenting couples, so you gotta imagine that's, like, rubber ducky number one coming in for aborting.
But that's even, like, the consenting is even worse because they corkscrew in opposite directions. Like, it's like... Evolution has just been like, no, fuck you, dude.
Well, actually, yeah, they've been fucking, yeah.
But no.
Look, man,
duck.
if I'm gonna come back as
Not
something,
duck.
I want to come back as like a penguin, but like a gay penguin.
Dude, I'll just come back as a fruit fly. Day, done, what?
A mayfly.
Can I get some?
I exist to scream and fuck.
Pretty much.
Ah!
I mean, there really isn't that much of a difference between, like, any
This is-
species. Like, it's, yeah.
My favorite part about this show is the conversations we have.
Yeah, and we never know what the fuck we're going to talk about or where it's going to go or what the fuck kind of bullshit we're going to spew.
The plants you're fucking and I'm getting the STDs.
I'm sure somebody's probably going to try and, like, fact check a chunk of what we say, and I'm sure that some of it is at least mildly inaccurate. But I would
last
be willing to bet that a chunk of it is
The last article I read on red velvet mites was a year and a half ago. So if there's any new info, feel free to link it down below, and I will 100% read it.
So yes, if you have any more information on Jizz Castle architecture, please.
Jizz Castle architecture.
Oh my fucking god, dude! I just can't get over that. Like, I've heard of House of Jazz, but
House of Jizz.
House of Jazz.
Well, you got your phone on. You pull it up.
Oh no,
Look at Red Velvet Mite.
no.
They're adorable. You don't need to look up them jizzing. You just look up like a red velvet mite walking.
Oh, I don't have to? Oh, that's good. I'm glad that I don't have to watch a bug jizz.
You will though. You'll look it up. Your curiosity will get.
You know you're gonna watch.
They have one. If I remember correctly, they have 2 rear legs that have additional fingers, just so that they can do that.
Liquid.
Yes.
It's like, oh yeah, I have that water. I should probably be drinking.
No one can down.
It's actually really fucking good.
You can make a subscription. They do subscription boxes. They just like send you a case or 2 a month or more. Knowing you drink a shitload of it.
I would be glad if. I think it'd be kind of cool if we got. I don't know what we get out of it, but I know that they would give us water to drink while we're getting drunk. So.
You know what? Even if they never paid us and they just gave us free water, I would advertise for them like nobody's business.
But yes, today's smattering of sobriety, possibly brought to you by Liquid Death. Oh. Just fucking. That's gonna get me for a minute. But like, man, critters across the planet do some weird ass fucking sex shit, and it really all just comes down to like,
did you have to evolve the Jizz Castle?
like how, like I just want to know how some of this shit came about, like how, like wow, how did this become a mating thing?
There is a god, and he likes sex houses.
I'm gonna say this: if there is a god, he want a dirty, kinky ass motherfucker.
With the way shit fucks, like. Oh,
Like, how does this species work? Well, the female is about the size of this coffee table. The male is about the size of my thumbnail. And when they mate, the male becomes part of the female.
Oh, anglerfish. Yep. Yeah, deep sea anglerfish, and he just it rots away into a pair of testicles.
Yeah.
I exist.
Honestly, some of y'all gonna get mad at me. Some of y'all gonna think I'm fucking crazy. I don't care. I think women are genetically superior to men. And if they're not genetically superior to men, why do we all start as women?
Also, women only have to deal with the crazy hormone bullshit 1 week a month. Men are dealing with that shit all the time and are
such a fucked up
unstable as
evolutionary thing. Like, okay, we're gonna have the male of the species go through these hormone fluctuations
forever,
all day, every day. But for the women, we're gonna save it up. Not all the time. We're just gonna go dump. Dudes, deal with a little bit here and there all the goddamn time. Women, whole bunch all at once. It's like, wow, how the fuck?
If I remember correctly, there was a study in it, like on chimps and stuff, because chimps have the same thing. Basically, your average baby, because after you have a child, you don't get periods for a little bit, and while you're pregnant, you obviously don't get them.
Generally,
yes. When a child is like an infant, especially in those early species that we evolved from, it is able to kind of take care of itself for a couple days at a time. Which means that the mom can be pissed screaming up a tree for about 3 or 4 days before she needs to come back down and make sure the kid hasn't died.
Well, also, humans are astoundingly resilient.
Yes.
Like, the temperatures that we can survive in. The fact that we can go a month without food.
Yeah, but the
It's
males,
a bitch.
the males who were raised around like aggressive males from previous generations, they can't tolerate children for like longer than a couple hours, unless you count that group of chimpanzees. Because I know someone's gonna pull that shit up, where all of the aggressive males died to poison garbage, and so everyone was getting raised by the calm females, and now they're like the most stable group ever.
Oh, what do you
Like-
know? When it finally comes down to, there's no one going, I have to be in charge. Shit just gets done and there really isn't a problem.
Remember how I said I didn't have my phone?
Do what the phone?
Remember I said I didn't have my phone?
Yeah, you were wrong.
It was in my pocket.
That's not surprising. You're tired and you've been drinking. And, well, let's face it, sometimes you're a goddamn dumbass.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not. Kind of, sometimes it takes one to know one, although that's not necessarily true. You don't have to be a dumbass to know someone's a fucking dumbass.
There's certain telltale signs.
Sometimes.
Also, we
yeah, generally, if they're, I don't know, if they have 1488 tattooed on them in any way, or 88, or anyway, there's all sorts of dead giveaways that someone's fucking an idiot.
Red Velvet Mite
Definitely red.
and Velvety.
I'm sure it is.
Look, here's a bunch of them. Just hanging out.
See, now you're just gonna have to fucking send this to whoever's editing, so that this can be tossed in
Me.
there. Oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Touring
So
on vacation.
good news. So good news. Our editor, who was in the hospital due to the COVIDs, is no longer in the hospital due to the COVIDs, but he is on vacation. So he'll get back to it eventually. But hey, good on that dude for not dying.
Yeah, he got vaccinated as soon as he left the hospital, too.
Right the fuck on.
He's in-
Frustrating thing about it's just like the flu. It's a goddamn brand new disease. Are you an epidemiologist? Can you see the future? No? Alright, well then how the fuck do you know that it's not as bad as you think it is?
I mean, my mother was 2 classes away from a
politics. We do this sometimes. Today has been a very political fucking episode, I think. Like we've
We
talked,
must have been talking about bug sex, to be honest. Yeah. Also,
and that's just bug fuck crazy.
my favorite thing is that my mom was 2 math classes away from being a microbiologist. So whenever she hears somebody argue about that shit, I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of trust the info you have on this, because she still keeps track of it, like, offhandedly. She's like, no, I looked into it. And no. I am not a microbiologist. I am a mycologist and a chef, which is a weird combination, but it means I can make some tasty motherfucking mushrooms. And that's it.
I believe that.
Dude, oyster mushrooms can be cooked in so many ways that are amazing. You can basically make them taste like fried chicken.
There's the thing. I don't know if you've heard it. Some people hooked up basically a synthesizer to a patch of mushrooms. Actually, they don't.
Oh yeah, they speak to each other. Basically.
Just be like the sounds of the mushrooms. And
Yeah,
they make different noises when they're being harvested.
We used to think that they communicate through chemical pheromones, but once enclosed, they still managed to communicate even if they were separated from each other. And we realized that it was a sound thing. And so they figured out like the distinct frequencies that they're not talking to each other. It's like how multiple trees can kind of
Usually they're on
exist.
the same root structure, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, still, the largest living organism is a fucking mushroom in North America that's just a fucking massive patch. The same damn mushroom.
They're giant hive minds.
Yeah.
All mushrooms are giant hive minds. That's why that weird mycelium that can digest everything, because it's just nerve clusters and digestive fluids, is the scariest shit I ever read about in my mycology. The only thing keeping it from fucking destroying the planet is water. Are you kidding me?
I guess we're lucky.
Yeah, it eats everything but salt and water. Also, a complete side note: we might be doing a giveaway soon because Sticker Mule is awesome, and I've been using them for a long time.
Okay.
We have stickers incoming with our new design, which is getting finalized tonight, and you and I are getting acrylic keychains, and we will be giving away 8 of them.
Ooh,
We're getting a pack of 10.
fancy.
Each of us are getting one, and you can have one exactly like both of us, which is our logo in an acrylic pen, or acrylic pin, or dangly keychain.
Fair warning, our logo may change at some point, mostly because we're indecisive as fuck, and the one that we have was created shit-faced.
Yup.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Mainly, the part that we're going to be changing is what's inside of the head. So, look for that in the next couple days, because I just finished the base for it, and I'm going to be coloring it in, and then we'll be done.
I still just think, like, I'm glad that he knows what the fuck is going on with a bunch of this shit, because my involvement in the production of all of these episodes is like, I have paid for the beer and I am ready to drink. Let's go. And he just does all the other shit. I'm glad that I get to be a lazy motherfucker like that, and that he has far more of a clue as to what's going on than I do. It's nice to have a co-host that can deal with all of that stuff, because
Not a fan.
But then again, I'm almost twice as old as he is, so this is an amusing combination of things, I think.
This whole scenario is pretty weird.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his first name, but I think it's ReDo. Yes. One of the dudes that was involved in the Greensboro shooting years ago. Or no, I guess it wasn't. I don't remember. Anyway, some fascist fuckbag that's been hiding out in Serbia may wind up getting shipped back to the States, and actually having to suffer legal consequences for having done violence.
Oh, goody.
And things like that against black people, and being openly a fucking Nazi and white supremacist racist motherfucker. I hate racism, I hate sexism, I hate marginalizing people. You're not better than anybody. You might be better.
You all evolved
at
from the same dumb monkey that figured out how to use a stick.
But you're not better than anybody. No one is better than anyone. And we really all should just try to get along a little bit better, and definitely not fuck each other over as much.
Fucking each other is fine with consent.
Oh, yeah, no.
Fucking each other over, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Never do that. Also, just a quick thing. While I hate the word for its linguistical structure, we need to come up with a better word for polyamory, because that's slamming a Latin
multi-amory or it's multi-amory or polyphilia.
Yeah, those are fine. Anyway,
but mixing those two things
is like, it hurts my ears.
Yeah, but that's because you actually fucking know Latin
And Greek.
You speak Latin and often swear in Latin.
I didn't know anybody noticed. I usually try to mutter it because I don't think anybody notices.
I only know because I've been around you long enough to fucking know. Be like, I know what you just said. Like, everybody else thought that was gibberish. You just told that dude to go fuck himself with a rake.
Hey. Yeah, that or I insulted his father. We used to.
So I can't remember how to say the phrase, but one of my mom's favorite insults was a Romanian phrase that translates to "go back to the vagina from whence you came." Just like, fuck. Like, that says something about my mom. Like, I wish you were unborn. That's her favorite fucking, like, whoa, god damn. I suppose it was one of her favorite. But yeah, no, I have an appreciation for that. Like, you should be unborn.
My favorite thing,
You know, there's a, okay, quick little thing here. There's a big debate with the whole abortion thing as to, you know, when the absolute beginning of life is. Some people say that life begins at 40. Well, you're not 40 yet. It's time for a retroactive abortion.
Take me out. Good morning, bitch.
No, it's
Say
cool.
it
Let
back.
it undo.
Mom, I need you to control Z me.
I brought you into this world. I can take you out.
Take me out.
Fucking do it! Whoa, that's not... Well, you okay?
Alt F4, please. I wish you would roll the 1 when conceiving me.
I think that's how that house got built.
I forgot what we were talking about before that. Oh, no, my favorite part of taking Latin classes was me and the other students, we would come up with phrases that were just insults. And at one point, someone got frustrated enough with somebody that they said one, and the teacher was like, I want to yell at you, but those are very advanced words and endings. And they were all correct. But you still...
Like, I really want to get mad at you, but your grammar was
you
so fucking good.
But you still called that guy's dad a flower-eating boy fucker. Like, you shouldn't say that, but your endings were good. Our favorite one was just calling someone's dad a woman.
I was going to say, but, like, flower-eating boy fucker. Like...
You're Greek.
I mean...
Those fucking Athenian boy fuckers.
Oh.
Also, nobody's innocent from that, because in England, a lot of knights would fuck their squires.
Homosexuality has been around for a real motherfucking long time. It's a part of life. Look at any species. Okay, maybe not any species, but look at lots of species. And
There have been cases of octopi throwing dicks at each other.
Also, don't want to come back as an octopus.
Rip your dick off and throw it. Go fuck yourself! But make sure it's me. Apparently, there are female octopi, that will collect the penises and make a decision after a while. They'll put them in burrows. Like, there was a diver who found this out because he was like, there looks like there's something dead in there. And he reached his hand in and pulled out just like a pile of octopi penises. Like, he was like, this lady is promiscuous and just like gathers them all. Because they can fertilize multiple times. So they'll be like, I want a little bit of Greg, a little bit of Bob, some of Phil, maybe just a dash of Craig. Like,
The most fucked up version of Tinder I have ever heard of.
and you get one, and you get one, and you... It's like a fucking Oprah, but for like octopi. And you get a penis, and you...
Please go fuck yourself with this.
Thanks.
No, it's cool. I don't need it anymore. It's all for you.
I want there to be like a sitcom about an octopus who's like married to his wife, and he like sees a hot chick and just out of reflex throws his dick at her, gets home, and his wife is like, where's your penis? Were you out throwing it at other women again? I need that to be like a comic. I'll fucking draw it. I don't care. I'm gonna make that. Like,
Did you just throw your dick at her?
I saw your eye rotate in its socket. You're not fooling me, young man. Tina.
See, this just doesn't sound like a healthy relationship. Yes, I think monogamy is a bad idea too.
I'm married and I still flirt with... Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Hey, I do.
What?
I am mostly asexual as far as like relationships go, but I think flirting can be fun and entertaining for both parties if you do it right. Like you're giving somebody a bunch of compliments to make them feel like good about themselves to the point where they're blushing. I find that both amusing and comforting. Like I managed to make somebody feel good about themselves.
What's a 9-letter word for an extended period of something that's probably boring as fuck?
A 9-letter word?
Monogamy. I'm sorry, monotony.
I was gonna say intimacy, but you're good. Sorry, that's what I was figuring out.
Intimacy? Boring?
Because EY. I'm asexual, motherfucker. It's a lot of work. The only reason I enjoy it is if I like the person I'm doing it with.
That's reasonable.
Because the rest of the time, it's just a lot of work. I don't care if you're asexual or not, dude. Sex is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Especially if you like are one of those people who are like, no, both people need to get off. It doesn't matter how well you know the person. Some days they're having an off day, but they still want to get some, and it takes like hours.
Yeah, situationally dependent, but yes.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. When they're having like a bad day, like they're just overstressed, like when they finally get the nerve release, it's craziness, but it just takes them a while because they're so pent up.
I think that's situationally dependent. But
It
then
is
again,
situationally dependent.
I think everything is situationally dependent.
Especially like based on it. Okay, it's
Actually,
based on,
not everything is situationally dependent.
Physics are not really situationally dependent.
No, there are some things that I really do feel are not situationally dependent at all. I think that if someone needs food, they should have it.
Well, yeah. If they need health care, they should also have it. And
If
water.
they need health care, if they need water, if they need shelter. Clothing, I really just like, I mean, I suppose people societally need it, but for the most part, I mean, unless it's cold, you don't really need it. I mean, unless you want to avoid a sunburn or fucking, I mean, clothes are just there to protect us from the
I
elements.
have to wear clothing because I have like a weird thin skin problem, but I could make my own clothes. Like, okay.
I have to wear clothing because society demands it. And because I get cold.
Yeah, that too. I honestly, like, if somebody decided at one point, they're like, alright, fine, if you all want to have houses, that means you have to make it yourself, and we're going to demolish every house to make sure you have to make your own house. I'm building myself a motherfucking log cabin. I can figure out how to put electricity in that bitch. I know how to make fire,
many ways to
heat,
make
and
electricity.
stuff. Yeah, okay, seriously, if you tell me, like, you get to go pick 10 square acres of land and you can just kind of build whatever you want on it with stuff from that 10 square acres of land, I'm finding a good steady river with a stream going off the side of it that's nice and filtered through rocks next to a mountain where I can hunt, and I'm building a log cabin that's water powered, and that bitch is going to be awesome. And I'm making a farm, and yeah.
Well, I don't give a fuck about, like, the mountain or all that other shit. Just, like, give me a steady source of clean running water that's, like, good and steady.
Well, with the water power, you can also set up, like, plumbing with that. Because certain water
if you
wheels can
have
pump.
a big enough water source, if you have a decent enough river nearby, you can get fresh water, indoor plumbing, and electricity probably fairly simply.
And also,
But there's a lot of shit involved. Like, there's so much. It's like this whole thing about, like, oh, I'm just going to move out into the woods and do shit. Like, yeah, that's cool. You can do that. But it takes
a lot of knowledge.
A lot of knowledge. It's like, it's not that much work to really. It's not really that much work to be able to set up shelter. It's not that hard to fucking make fire. It's not that hard to do a whole bunch of shit.
Creature comforts are a lot of work, though.
Finding somewhere that you can actually do all of those things and source all of what you need. It's like one of the reasons why capitalism is not fucking voluntary. Like, you can. A system that you have an option of becoming a refugee from does not mean, like, if you can become a refugee from a system, that doesn't mean that it's a voluntary system. You have the option of abandoning everything that you have and moving out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere and making whatever the fuck you're gonna make. But before you go out there, you're probably gonna rely on shit from the outside world to get yourself going, unless you're just gonna go out there, wander out
Tie
of
a
the
rock
woods,
to a stick and start cutting shit down.
literally buck naked, and just start going after trees with rocks, because that's what you can do.
You know what? If somebody made me do that, I would fucking do it. And also, I said the mountain because mountains are good for extended hunting trips. You can get the high ground on animals, and you can always have multiple temporary shelters in case you're out for longer than one day.
See, I am such a lazy motherfucker. I would be far more likely to just set up traps. Like, yeah, could hunt bigger stuff, but
yeah, you can.
But
keep
that's
yourself,
also situationally dependent
you can
as to
keep
the
yourself
area that you're
supplied
in. It's
with-
like the whole fucking oh my god,
Yeah, the situation is better again.
survival bullshit.
A good way to do it is like have traps for a smaller game to like keep a constant flow. But what you want to do is have like at least one or two big game things, and then you want to dig yourself a fridge or like a freezer or something, and make it so that like you have extended stay meat for when the little things start to hide during the winter. Like that's, and also if
That's
you're
the whole point of preserving meat, like
Exactly.
salting, smoking.
and if
like,
you're anywhere near, a good way to do it is like get near rocks with a high sodium content near a river, because then you have fish and you have salt. Add your also, a lot of salt tends to come from running down mountains, so that ends up with salt deposits below waterfalls.
I can't see salt coming down mountains because it's all fresh water.
The water running over the rocks breaks down the rocks to their base component. You get
Situationally dependent. In some places, you might be able to find salt from fresh water.
in the
because of
northwest, you
things.
get a lot of it. This is where I was trained survival stuff. You get a lot of deposits at the bottoms of waterfalls. They're not big, but you don't need a shitload of salt. Like,
Oh, you need a fair bit, but I mean, also, if you're eating meat and going after animals and fucking... That makes me think
Yeah.
of, what was it? Jack London, Call of the Wild, when he went up, I think of the Yukon, but he lived out and about among wolves, and he was having a hard time, like, he was trying to survive on what the wolves were surviving on, and it took him a while to figure out that the reason why the wolves were doing better than he was on a few things was they were living off of mice, for the most part.
because the mice would come into their caves, because they...
Well, not just coming to the caves, but there's fucking mice everywhere, because it's the fucking wilderness.
There's
Yeah, what do
always
you know?
mice
There's
and
fucking,
rats like
there's
everywhere. Rodents
yeah.
are constant thing.
Rodents are fodder, just like mosquitoes and a whole bunch of other shit. Like
Mosquitoes and crickets and...
yeah, like
worms.
they play a very important part in the food chain. They're irritating as fuck for us because we don't like them because of a variety of things that
I mean, they are edible, though.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, like, for the longest time, he was just eating, like, the meat of the mice, and he wasn't eating the whole fucking thing. Well, of course, you're not going to get the entire nutritional value out of these things if you do not eat the whole thing. So
You gotta eat the organs and stuff, yeah.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, liver generally has a lot of vitamin C. It's actually a thing that can kill you. Bear liver, not a thing you should probably eat. Not necessarily because the bear is like, not necessarily because anything that the bear might have eaten or had, but because there's so much fucking vitamin C in there, it could kill you.
The organs of carnivores are typically good to avoid on
Yeah.
a general basis.
Generally, if you're eating a carnivore, you should only eat the meat.
Yeah, because
And
the rest of
also-
it is dedicated to digesting meat.
Yeah.
And you're trying to digest the meat from the... No. If it's more than, like, one connection to it being, like, eating other animals, you probably don't want to be trying to eat its organs.
Also, I
It's
think
gamey as fuck, too.
I'm pretty sure that, like, cannibalism has detrimental effects on every species. Because I know that there's, like, it's like Kawasaki's or something like that. That's not what it is, but it's something
spaced
like
cannibalism, as in, like... Well, okay.
that. Well, okay.
If you're
so-
the same exact species, yes. If you're a spaced species, it tends to not be as harmful, but it's still not great.
yeah, like, it's not good to eat monkey brains because you could develop a fucking mental disorder because of shit that's in monkey brains.
you
You're
shouldn't
not
eat
supposed
monkey,
to eat. Yeah. But because they're so fucking close to us, we have...
Don't eat your ancestors.
Yeah, apparently. But, like, eating human brains, there's, like, a specific disease that you will almost certainly develop from eating human brains. And it's because of, like, shit that's in our brain that we're not supposed to fucking eat. There are only certain parts of people that you should really bother eating, and that's really only the meat parts. You shouldn't eat any of the organ parts of people. At least not in a Jeffrey Dahmer kind of way.
Oof.
I still just think it's like, I find it amusing that he's like, God, people with tattoos. Tattoos are terrible. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, good to know. Tattoos don't taste good.
I need to get more tattoos.
Like, this makes me want to get, like, a full body tattoo. And be like, cannibals? What you gonna do? Like,
Just get yourself like a what are they called? They're like a type of samurai. I don't remember. They were the ones that were basically, when you achieved this rank, you were outcast from society because you were your own law. I don't remember. They're a thing.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. The closest thing that I can think of is Ronin, because there are basically three classifications of samurai, to my current recollection. Well, okay, there was different, like, rank and file, but there's your standard samurai. There's Ronin who are samurai who don't have a daimyo or a master, or, like, they're kind of loose, and some of them wander around, some just killed themselves because their master was gone. And then there were ninja, who were Black Ops samurai.
The Kensei. The Kensei were considered elite sword saints, and they were not able to be ordered by the emperor. They could choose to serve him, but did not have to, and that therefore made them criminals at all times. Because they could just execute someone on the battlefield without proper trial. Like, if you offended a Kensei, he would probably just kill you. Because they had no dachis and they could just cut you in half.
Like, I'm an amazing badass with a blade, and if you fuck with me, I will just murder your ass.
They also always wore masks because they didn't need people knowing their personal identities. Yeah, no, they had the...
That's a thing that I would like to look into more.
They're
Although it does
cool.
make me think of the one and only Miyamoto Musashi, or Musashi Miyamoto. However the hell you want to say it. One of them is more correct, but a swordsman from Japan that died of old age had a record number of duels, like over 65 recorded duels, all of them wins. There was one, probably my favorite and one of the most famous stories about the dude. He has a duel that he's got to be at on an island with some dude. Well, he was out drinking the night before. He woke up late. So, he's already running behind. Manages to catch a ferry out to the island, and the dude that's supposed to duel him is super fucking pissed. He's already being dishonored by this man showing up late. And then he shows up without a weapon. So he takes one of the oars from the ferry boat ride. And he carves it into a boken. And he goes, okay, well, I guess this will work. And then he walks over, promptly whoops the dude's fucking ass. And then it's just like, alright, cool, we're done. Like, you show up hungover, late, no fucking weapon. Hang on, I gotta carve a stick. I know you have a sword. Just fuck, could you chill the fuck out?
Hold on.
Now, here's what I love. Most of his duels, he did not fight with a sword. He fought with a boken.
I know the guy you're talking about now. I remember reading a lot about him. He fought in legendary battles using
like
a piece of fucking wood.
Like, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna take this wood sword and I am going to kill you, or I'm gonna destroy you.
I'm gonna knock your ass
You're
the
gonna
fuck
be
out,
fucking
or
done.
I'm gonna kill you.
Real quick, and I'm gonna use a stick to do it.
He
that's
actually
bullshit.
he had a distaste for live bladed weapons because he
Not true at all. Book of Five Rings.
I might be thinking of a different guy then, because I was.
You
thinking of
must
a
be
guy
thinking
who,
of somebody else.
He fought in like multiple Japanese wars, and he would only use wood because he found blades and instant death distasteful.
That sounds like a fucking anime character. That does not sound like a real person. Although there was a midget ninja that stabbed someone in the butthole with a spear in an outhouse. So I guess
He was he was one of the guys who helped with the structure of
I
Taekwondo.
should not have said midget. Probably that is
Little person.
A little person. I don't know if little person
That's
dwarf.
the currently accepted
Micah,
one.
I'm sure, would probably not be happy with me, but he would.
Yeah. No, he was
Anyway.
The guy was one of the
Sorry, Micah.
The guy was one of the founding instructors for Taekwondo. Because he agreed more with unarmed combat than he did with bladed armed combat.
See, that's impossible because Taekwondo is a very, 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 very recent invention, and what you're speaking of would have been in feudal Japan, and there's at least
Look him up now.
It's
been so long since I heard about this guy.
I don't know what you're talking about, but that's not a thing that I've heard about. But Miyamoto Musashi, hell of a fucking swordsman, according to legend and all accounts thereof. But yeah, no, cool fucking thing. Don't remember what we were talking about before because hey, we've been drinking. But here's your little tiny taste of sobriety. From Liquid Death.
Oh, the guy he fought was
I
Arima
love the name of this shit.
Kihei, who had a razor-sharp short sword, and Musashi used a wooden sword.
Yeah. Like, dude had a legit, dude is like, no, I have sword. I am ready to kill you. Musashi was supposed to fucking show up with an actual sword. He showed up with his hungover ass. Fucking took a minute to carve a boken out of an ore.
Miyamoto Musashi apparently very rarely actually used bladed weapons. He more often used wood weapons, such as boken and wooden swords. Okay. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He'd also paint landscapes in his free time and write poetry. He'd author a book that'd be more influential in philosophy and strategy for the next 500 years.
Book of Five Rings.
Yep.
Yeah.
My first
The
duel
two
was when I
sword
was
school.
13. I struck down a strategist of the Shinto school, one Arima Kihei. When I was 16, I struck down an able strategist, Tadashima Akiyama. When I was 21, I went up to the capital and met all manner of strategists, never once failing to win in many contests. Apparently he had a preference for wooden swords, and all artwork of him is portrayed using wooden swords.
Yup. I have that print on a shirt.
Yeah, he apparently he carried bladed weapons but rarely used them.
Yeah.
Because he felt it more appropriate to just beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, he's like, I could use a sword, but I'm gonna use a stick because I want to go easy.
Why is
on
that?
ya.
Why is that both of us? Like, yeah, I have
I'm
a knife,
not.
but
I
could
will
also
never
just
be
hit you
that
with a
fucking
stick.
badass. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, if I had the option, I would rather beat the crap out of you with a stick than a sharp object, because if I beat the crap out of you with a stick, either A, I didn't...
Well, yeah, but that's also part of the whole, not wanting to actually kill someone thing.
Yeah. Well, he won in many contests, but he didn't actually, kill all that many people. He was mostly...
Well, yeah, but... Yeah.
It's like the...
Musashi, Book of Five Rings. Awesome fucking book. People use it as a business training thing. Kind of like people checking out Sun Tzu's Art of War.
I love that book. Also, the Book of Tea is a really good one.
I haven't read the Book of Tea.
I think it's by Tadashi.
The Book of Day? Like T-E?
Book of Tea. T-E-A.
Oh, okay.
As in,
Oh,
the
yeah,
drinking
no,
substance.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I
It's
have yet to
really
read
good.
that one, but I do have Shit, I think I've got like 2 or 3 copies of the Hagakure, and there's some fun shit in there.
Also, one of my favorite people from history, because he has a very personal place in my heart, because I trained in the martial art he invented, was Mohorai Ueshiba, who developed his entire art based off of disarming rampant samurai. Because the story of it was he had a friend.
You have good Aikido skills, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if you went up against a BJJ dude, he'd fucking drop your ass hard fast.
I don't remember what that is.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They go.
I would have to use other arts that I learned to just avoid getting anywhere near that guy. No, that's one of those of
You
like...
don't avoid getting near BJJ dudes. You fucking get faster than them. That's
it doesn't matter how many practices you are in like martial arts. You can even learn the same martial arts as somebody. There's people that you just take one look at them and you're like, I'm gonna run the fuck that way. Like, there's certain fights that are not worth trying.
Fucking Irwin.
But
only met him a couple times, but this dude, like, I'm 6 foot. This dude's like 5'2", maybe 5'3". Fucking little teeny tiny motherfucker. Built like a brick shithouse, moved like a spider, and I swear to fucking God, he could just wreck people. Just be like, oh, cool. Yeah, hey. I'm like, that was scary fast.
The whole like story of like how Morai came up with the Aikido idea was he had a friend who was a samurai who returned from war and basically had like the old version of PTSD, and just had an episode and
the
drew
old
his
version
sword.
of PTSD. I have an issue.
It was called something else at the time, but he had PTSD.
Not like it hasn't been around since
fucking forever.
Fucking forever, because humans aren't supposed to kill each other. There's like mental things that fucking happen. Anyway.
So his friend, basically, they were sitting at dinner or something, and he just had an episode, and he had a sword on him, and he drew it and went after his friend, and he was like, oh shit, I need to disarm this guy right now.
Oh shit, cockfuck!
How about I just direct him other places until he drops it? And that's how he started coming up with the foundations of Aikido. He was like, I'm going to direct you in a way that eventually makes you drop this shit. Or just knocks it out of your hand. That's why a lot of it is about, like, somebody swinging at you. What do you do? First of all, you get out of the way. Second of all, you now have full control over where their energy is going.
Yeah, God, that just makes me think of being chased around by people with fucking sticks.
Yeah, I remember those.
Dodge! Fuck! Shit! God damn!
Whack!
Ow!
Mother of... This mat is supposed to help you break your fall. It doesn't!
First time we got pads, we used to do, we did all of our shit outside for the longest fucking time. And then at one point, managed to get into, because I was going there at the time, got into Mead High, and they let us use the wrestling room. And we actually had, pads. It wasn't
just, huck somebody.
It wasn't like grass. It was like pads. The wrestling room. Mats. And my sensei was just like, dude, come here. I'm going to throw you so fucking far. Like, oh yeah, let's do this. Like, I'm going to get launched. And I'm going to have a soft landing. Swear to God, dude threw me 15 feet. He's just like... blah, 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 blah. Woo! That was fun. Do it again.
Yeah.
That was around the same time also that he fucking wound up getting a set of samurai armor. I can't remember, fucking, it was plastic plates woven together with paracord. Works good enough, right?
Yeah, that's
and
some shit.
Yeah, no, it was like, all right, cool, good enough. He's like, kick me, come on, kick me. I was just, I kicked him like fucking 6 feet back at one point. He's like, bam, like, yeah. Like monkeys with armor. Like, oh, look, I can take a real beating now. That was fun.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I was at Costco doing some shopping and I ended up pinning a guy to the floor while I was in a wheelchair? It was right
That
after
sounds like a story in and of itself. Just like,
Well, because remember when you were learning Aikido and then the other arts that I learned, because I learned a little bit of Tai Chi, I took a couple other ones, a lot of them start with learning how to do stuff sitting down. I was technically sitting, and my legs weren't working at the time, so I was working with just my upper body. The guy got pissed at me because I was, like, in the aisle doing my shopping, and I guess he was, like, drunk or something. And they let him into Costco anyway. That's questionable in Costco. But he took a full, like, haymaker swing at me. And I was in my wheelchair, so I had it locked, thankfully, at the time. And I was just like, alright, if you're going to do this, let me just... whoop, and caught his arm, spun him down to the ground, and as I came out of my wheelchair, I just, like, put my knees on his back.
that's just so much aggro. Somebody punching someone in a fucking wheelchair?
Right? That's what I said. They were like, do you want to press charges? And I was like, no, but Costco does. Because he broke like 3 shelves on his way down because I was riding him like a pony. Like, I was like, I came out of my wheelchair because he had enough weight behind him that when I was holding like the back of his shoulder and the edge of his elbow, it like carried me up and over. And I was like, okay, we're going. And everybody was like,
It's too late now.
That dude in a wheelchair just put that guy face down, and I was like, is somebody calling the cops, or am I just gonna, like...
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, no, that happened, like, several months ago. It was, like, right before the main pandemic stuff started to happen, when I was in my wheelchair all the time.
That's more than several months ago.
So about over a year ago.
I was gonna say,
I don't like to think about that.
That's like 10 months ago.
Well, it's over 12 months because the pandemic shutdown started in March, and this was in February.
March
of last
11th, and today is March 18th. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, which is why we were drinking as much as... Well, actually, we were just drinking as much as we were, because we were. It just happened to be St. Patrick's Day. But it's a nice excuse.
Oh my god, it was in February last year, because I wasn't wearing a mask. Wow. Time sure does fly when you're in fucking quarantine.
You know, I still remember when when they put the quarantine into effect when they started lockdown in Washington, I was in Montana, and I was in the middle of fucking buttfuck nowhere, Montana. I don't remember. It wasn't Browning, but it was somewhere else ish around there. I like Browning, but it's buttfuck nowhere. But, we were, I was out in the middle of somewhere in Montana, and I saw news that Spokane was shut down, like that Washington in Totem was just like, nope, everything's closed, fuck you. And I was like, haha, I'm in Montana, they don't give a fuck right now. The next goddamn day. The county in Montana that I was in put in lockdown measures. I did not know that it was only the county that I was in, and that I could have made a 20-minute drive, be able to go have a fucking beer, and, like, have food. I would have made that 20-minute drive, because at that point in the pandemic, it's like, dude, we're in fucking Montana. This shit's probably not here yet.
Yeah.
Probably. Like, at that point, I was hedging my bets on odds. Be like, okay, the odds of this shit being here, pretty fucking slim to nil. Yeah.
So we're at the end of our episode so far.
Yeah, I guess that's gonna have to be a thing for that. I mean, we're fucking 2 hours on Patreon. I know you're not done with all your beer. Well,
we'll worry about these later. But
yeah, I guess it's time. Apparently, it is time for the end of the YouTube part of things. We've been far more political than we generally are, and it's been like really. We're not just gonna sit here and fucking drink the rest of this fucking beer. And
I'm kind of hungry.
I have no stamina.
Are you not hungry?
He has a low con score.
If you wanna keep going, we can. But like, I'm pretty sure Lala's also hungry. And
Well, this was originally supposed to be. This was originally a 3-hour thing that we did with the 10 beers.
Do you want to end the YouTube and just go on a Patreon? Because at Patreon we get to goof off more.
Well, I think we've been goofing off for a while, yeah, we might as well go ahead and I guess end the YouTube part of things now, even though yeah.
What are we at? 254.
Yeah, we're 155 is what our timer currently says, even though that's probably not accurate. This is probably going to get trimmed down a chunk. We'll see how it goes. But until we meet again,
Keep drinking.
keep thinking and don't do nothing about white supremacy.